check it out. Look, we from the bottom, ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon' be okay. Hey, look, why? Cause we gon' make them pay. We from
Hey, what's going down, hustlers, cappers, gamblers, all around the world? It's your boy Marley Betts coming with another episode of Brothers and Bets. Got my man Alex Flat Top joining us all the way from Vegas itself. What's going down? Who we got? United Dave got my boy across the pond in the chat. I was like, yo, just woke up to the show. What's going down, United Dave? What time is it over there? It's early. It's not like 7, 6. I don't know. What time is it over there, United Dave? I don't know if you know United Dave is from across the pond, Alex. He's one of my,
Oh wow.
Yeah,
The
he's one of
pond.
my faithful. Yeah. Literally. He said it's 5 a.m.
Ooh, jeez.
Good morning, sir. Top of the top to you. It's about 10:45 where I'm at.
Yeah.
And it's about what 8:45 over there where you at, Alex?
Yeah, 8:45 in Vegas.
All right, well, man, let's get started. Let's recap a little bit. Coach is not here. That's from first week. Jack did the Saturday show with me. He got the best record so far at 3-3. He amazingly capped out at 500. Those don't know Jack that joined the show. Jack went to LSU. He got a scholarship to play for LSU out of high school out here. That's how good Mr. Jack was in football. Just to let boys know that. Me and Alex went 2-4 on Friday. I went 6-12 over the weekend, or at least since the season started. We'll say not over the weekend. Since the season started with a push. But week 1 was last one. What are give me some surprises that you saw? Maybe some things you wish you wouldn't have changed, like we kind of talked about earlier. And what was the biggest surprise?
Yeah, so there was actually a lot of surprises going into week 1. I mean, you don't know what you're going to get in the season. I think that that Clemson was a huge surprise to a lot of people, even though, Georgia was the top 5 team. You expected Clemson to get more than when they scored like 3 full game with the former number 1, overall high school QB. But this kind of shows you can't lean on last year's success, losing number 1 overall draft pick. Trevor Lawrence kind of did something for the offense, and as well as some of their other guys. I guess one of the things that I would have changed is I know we talked a little bit about that Charlotte and PJ Washington and, little brother versus big brother. And little brother came out.
Got on that ass.
They got on it early. Wasn't trying to get whooped at home. So, that was a surprise, even, because I had gone with my gut. And then I'm like, maybe I just want him to win. And
I text you this one. And I text you this when we talked to in our text messages before the show. I was like, man, I knew about Reynolds from last year.
Yeah.
And I was gonna go before we even did the show, just looking at it, before I looked at the game, I was like, damn, I kept asking myself, where do I know Charlotte from? I know Charlotte from somewhere. I couldn't think. It just never came to me.
Yeah.
And I wanted to pick Charlotte. I was like, Charlotte put 6 at home. I'm going to take that Duke no football team. But when I went and looked at the fucking numbers, and I was like, damn, Duke beat the shit out of Charlotte last year. 53-12. Some stupid-ass numbers. So I'm like, well, there's no way they're going to come in the fucking 6. But something the whole time was like, how can you beat a team last year by like 40 points and the spread is only 6? Like, why is it that fucking
something's up?
But still.
So that one, and then I think one of the other big surprises for me, being on the West Coast, and I watch a lot of Pac-12, that Washington versus Montana. I was looking at that, and they lost 13-7, and they got a tough game this week against Michigan, which I'm sure we'll get into, but. Yeah, that was mind-blowing to me because they started off 7-0 and just couldn't do anything afterwards. Or maybe
I never would have caught that one, honestly. I'm not even going to lie. I wouldn't have. My research doesn't go that deep. And I hate the Pac. No offense, West Coast guy. I hate the Pac-12. I think the Pac-12 little kids.
Little soft.
Yeah. But I'm from Texas, so it's like barbecue, football, religion. So not necessarily in that order. So I mean, I got when I was out there, I gained a little bit of respect, kind of, sort of, a tad, sprinkle for the Pac-12. I was kind of forced to. I was kind of forced to watch it,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, I hate Pac-12 football. I don't hate it. It's just so fucking just soft to me.
You're not wrong, man.
It's just
You
a
are
different
not.
brand of football. I
Yeah.
respect some of the teams out there though, but as a
Yeah.
whole, it's just like. But they show, hey, UCLA showed me because I damn sure took LSU. That's one of my biggest surprises. Um, the way UCLA beat LSU, and that probably goes into my bias for the Pac-12 because I thought LSU was definitely going to go out there and stomp UCLA,
Yeah, sure.
Pac-12, SEC. So Chip Kelly, showed me
Yeah.
something. He either showed me something or LSU is definitely highly overrated, and Ed Orgeron might be overrated, or Chip Kelly might be onto something. We'll find out.
We will.
So that was probably my biggest surprise. My biggest, I guess I would say another surprise is not the way not the score necessarily. Alabama, Miami. It's just the way Miami laid down,
Yes.
or
Absolutely.
maybe how good. Maybe I didn't. I took Alabama minus the 19, so
Yeah, me
I
too.
was
Me too.
expecting them to cover the spread, but it's just the way they covered the spread. I didn't think it would be that dominant. I mean, not.
Yeah.
I thought Miami would put up at least a little bit of a fight, maybe close
Yeah.
first half, maybe I don't know. I
Yeah.
didn't expect like just complete. I don't even think Miami wanted to play anymore. Like after
No,
a little
absolutely
while,
not.
it was like they were ready to go home. Let's just go home and just start over. We'll never schedule Alabama this early again.
Absolutely not, man. Bryce Young tore them a new one.
Yeah, and he looked fucking amazing.
Yeah.
For a freshman quarterback. I mean, he was poised. He made all the right plays. He scrambled when he was supposed to scramble. He moved.
Yeah.
When he scrambled, he was actually looking to throw the ball a good portion of the time. They couldn't pressure him, hurry him. I mean, he looked perfect, honestly.
Yeah.
In every essence of the word. Biggest, I don't know if I have a. What would you say your biggest disappointment was, or who would you say your biggest
disappointment? I mean,
mine was definitely Miami.
I guess it just, for me, that going back to that Clemson game, I just wanted
Clemson.
like defensively, those are always great.
Georgia's a good defensive team though.
They're a great defensive team, but I thought like Clemson had something. They couldn't get anything going. I think Georgia got to them like 7 times. Like it was, and it might just be a really good defense, and Clemson's kind of trying to figure out what their identity is going to be. But I
think they're done.
I think they're done.
Yeah, they have no chance to get to a national championship now.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. I mean,
ACC is weak.
Yeah,
and
North Carolina just lost. Yeah, exactly. They got no one in the top 10.
North Carolina lost.
Miami got blown out. They're literally.
So I don't know how they work their way back up into a one-loss team.
Yeah,
like a one-loss ACC team is not going to be the one-loss Ohio State team.
Absolutely not
going to be the one-loss SEC team. I don't even know if it beats a one-loss Pac-12 team at this moment. So
definitely not Big 12 either. They look pretty
good. The way UCLA and if USC continues to play, I don't think, depending on who those losses may go to, but the ACC looks pretty bad right now.
Absolutely.
Considering what happens to North Carolina and Miami. So I think they might be done. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, yeah.
But let's get into week 2, man. Yeah. Let's be better.
let's wash that off and get to the.
Let's get rid of week 1, opening week. Let's get into week 2, man. Let's get into the reason why we're here. All right, first game, we got a Friday game up on the docket. We got Kansas, the Jayhawks, they're going on the road to take on Coastal Carolina. Line opened up at Carolina minus 25.5, and the total is at 52. Give you a little actual factual about the Jayhawks. They're 1-5 ATS in their last 6 games. 1-13 straight up in the last 14 games. 0-9 straight up in the last 9 games on the road. 1-5 ATS in their last 6 games against an opponent from the Sun Belt Conference. And they can't even beat people in the Sun Belt. Oh my God. 0-5 ATS in their last 5 games played in September. They're 1-5 straight up in the last 6 games played in week 2. The total has gone over in 6 of the last 7 games when playing as an underdog. And over in 9 of the last 12 games period. Coastal Carolina. They're 8-2-1 ATS in their last 11 games. 13-1 straight up in their last 14. 8-0 straight up in their last 8 games at home. The total has gone over in 5 of their last 5 games played in September, 5 of the last 5 played as a favorite, and 5 of the last 6 games overall. Kansas at Coastal Carolina. Do you have a play on this game? And if so, what do you got and why you got it?
I have 2. And 2 on the same one. So the first one, I think absolutely Coastal Carolina covers first half. I don't know what that is, if they have it higher.
Let me see if I can get you that line, if it's available this early, which it may not be right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's Tuesday, but whatever the first half is.
Probably going to be around, I'd say 12-ish.
Yeah, if you can get it for under like 16.5 or less, I think Coastal Carolina is up by 2 touchdowns and a field goal. First half they looked good against whoever. I think they played Citadel, which is a trash team, but Coastal is one of those. I mean, they're from the Sun Belt, which you're kind of knocking on a little bit, but they have like Appalachian State in theirs. They got Labor. They got some pretty decent teams that actually were ranked going into this year. So I think Coastal, especially at home, they're going to whoop Kansas. I like them to cover full game, cover at half, and to go over. I can see Coastal putting up the 52 and just being done. Kansas they'll probably get a couple, but yeah, just take Coastal.
So I got first half spread and full game over.
Yeah, or second half spread. Take it all, whatever you can get. Coastal and the over.
I need something to write down for the official play.
Okay,
I got the over though.
The official one. I'm gonna do the 25.
Just the over. 25.
Over is 52.
Yeah. I was saying, do you just want the over? You don't have to make a play on the. You don't have to make a
play. No. Let's do the 25.5, just in the off chance.
25.5, and the over 52.
Yeah, I'll take both of them.
Both are official plays. Gotcha. All right. So, and yes, by the way, you are correct. They did play Citadel last week, and they beat them 52-38. I'm sorry, 52-14.
Yeah.
My apologies. Kansas beat South Dakota 17-14, and
have lost their last 2 seasons of games. That was their first win in like 700 days.
Jason Beans, the quarterback, he's 17 for 26. He threw for 163 yards, 2 touchdowns in that game. He's also the team's leading rusher, 15 carries at 54 yards. I'm going to agree with you here. This is I'm not going to waste a lot of time. I agree. I'm going to also agree I'm going to take the over 52 because I think Coastal can damn near score that by themselves.
Yeah.
If not, I definitely think they can get to the 40s. Which will probably need Kansas to maybe give us 10. Maybe. I think they can get to 52 on their own, but who knows? Who knows? So I'm with you there, and I also think they can cover the 25. But I think I'm gonna ride with your original gut and go first half.
Yeah.
Whatever
whenever that opens up. It should be pretty
But
close to
since we
12
don't
rounds.
have it, right now, I don't want to lock
Yeah,
myself in
put it
an
on there.
official play. Yeah, so I'm just gonna stick with the right now. I'll probably do another college video on some different
Yeah.
games. Maybe I'll come back. I don't know. But as of right now, I'm just gonna stick with the over. I really think they'll cover this minus 25 so
I
easily.
know.
To be honest with you, it's just so many. I hate taking big ass. You know, I'm gonna take the minus 25.
Take it.
I'm gonna take the minus 25 and a half. I think they'll cover that because I just really think they'll cover that because I think they're gonna score fucking 50 points. And I don't know if Coastal will get over it. I don't even know if they'll get to 20.
Yeah.
Honestly. All right. So yeah, let's move on.
Yeah. We know what's gonna happen in
Don't
that
need to
game.
waste a bunch of time in that game. Let's get to something a little. Let's move on to something a little bit more challenging, so to speak of. You got the Fighting Illini. Is it Fighting Illini?
Yeah, Fighting Illini versus the Cavaliers.
Virginia Cavaliers. Yes, sir. That line opened up at the Cavaliers minus 10. The total is at 55. Give a couple actual factuals for the Fighting Alumni. They're 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games. 1-4 straight up in their last 5 games. 5-15 straight up in their last 20 games on the road. 1-5 straight up in their last 6 games played in September. 1-4 ACS in their last 5 games played on Saturday. Totals gone under in 7 of their last 9 games on Saturday on the road. Under in 4 of the last 5 games played in week 2, but over in 4 of their last 6 games overall. Virginia, they're 6-1 in their last 7 games. 5-1 straight up in their last 6 games. 5-0 ATS in their last 5 games at home. 5-1 straight up in their last 6 games played in September. 5-1 ATS in their last 6 games played in week 2. 5-1 straight up in the last 6 games played on the Saturday, and the total has gone over in 6 of their last 8 games when playing as the favorite, but under in 6 of the last 9 games playing against an opponent from the Big Ten Conference, but over in the last 13 of 17 games in general. Illinois versus Virginia minus 10, totals at 55. What do you got for me?
I like Virginia, and I like that spread. I don't know how many points they're going to score. For me, Illinois looked wildly inconsistent between their first game and their second game. I think they just played UTSA, Roadrunners, I believe, is who they just ended up losing, and they were favored. You know, there was a lot of stuff in that. They had a chance to win, and I watched a little bit of the Virginia game and them playing some, small school, but Armstrong looked pretty good, their quarterback. He had a pretty good season last year. I think they ended up winning like 8 or 9 games. I think that I'll take the full game at 10 at home for Virginia. Their defense looked pretty good. And like I said, Illinois, just for me, it's only been 2 games, but they've looked pretty inconsistent and not knowing what's going on. So I like Virginia minus 10 at home.
Yeah, Armstrong was pretty good. He was 21 for 31, 339 yards with 2 touchdowns. Okay, that's pretty good. Epstein, 25 carries for 107 yards. Is that about 5 yards a carry? I think this may be shy of 5 yards a carry, about 5 yards a carry and a touchdown. Armstead, the receiver. Wicks, the receiver, 4 receptions for 94 yards. That's the leading receiver, leading rusher, leading passer. I don't know. Illinois, the Fighting Alumni confuse me. I don't know if they confuse me or just maybe Notre Dame is just a terrible team. Because they handled Notre Dame is that in Notre Dame? No, that was in Illinois. Week 0. But then to lose to UTSA, which UTSA is a good team, or is a decent team for UTSA. They haven't even had a football team that long.
Yeah.
But they are in Texas. Say that. They're stomping grounds. They have good recruiting background and good backyard. Even our, maybe not our 5-star, but our 4-star players are pretty good. 3-star players are pretty good. You know what I'm saying? can get coached well, coach them up. Might get some decent football players. Like I say, it's religion. My son's playing football since he's 4. So
Mm-hmm.
right now, he already has gloves and fucking mouthpieces. He's got all kind of shit on it.
Yeah,
Already to the
it's
shit,
already ready to go.
man. Yeah, it's already ready to go. Dad's fucking coach.
Yeah,
It's already ready to go. So fucking we groom them. I mean, I feel like if you're a big time D1 school and you're not recruiting in Texas, you're losing. I mean, if you go look at
absolutely.
anybody, if you go look at the Alabamas and the Clemsons and Floridas and whoever the
Ohio
fuck you want to
State's.
name,
Yeah,
USC's, if there's not some Texas kids, I'm sure there's Texas kids on the roster. They gotta have it.
absolutely.
If you're not recruiting in Texas, California, or Florida, you're losing. It's the part. Those are the 3 states. I think, but I'm biased. I'm from the South. But anyway, back to back to the game. But I do agree with you. I like Virginia here definitely to win the game. Do I like them -10 though? Is the question. Um, that's tricky. I think I like this total to go over, but I would need the la 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 la.
You could money
I
line Virginia.
think I could, but this is going to be awful value probably. They don't have the money lines listed right now. How -10, huh? Oh, they do have the money line listed. It's -400. That is awful value.
It's terrible. Maybe first half.
I'm thinking first half. I'm thinking it'll be like 6. Probably won't be 5, 5.5, 6. If I can get it under 7, I definitely will take it. I
Yeah,
think they'll be up a touchdown. This is
I know. This is one I looked at it too, and I was like, "There's a lot of possibilities," and it hinges on like Illinois. I think like Virginia, you kind of have an idea of like what it's going to be, but like Illinois, like which one shows up when they beat Nebraska.
They gave up 37 to UTSA. Like they're definitely gonna give up 40 to Virginia.
So then the over. Do they get
That's
the
what
do
I'm
they get the
thinking.
15 you need?
I think they'll give me 15. I mean, well, William Hart Mary didn't score anything, but that's William Hart Mary. I expect Illinois to score
Yes.
at
Oh,
least.
absolutely. They should. Yeah.
They can give me 2 touchdowns or more. I mean, if they give me more than 2 touchdowns, then I definitely hit the over. I think they can give me 2 touchdowns. I don't think Virginia's defense is that stiff. I mean, they gave up, but Illinois' defense gave up 37 to UTSA. I don't see why
Why
Virginia
they couldn't
won't
give up 37 to
37 to Virginia. And like I said, I only need 15. And I think I'm game for that 15. I'm going to take the over. I'm going to take the
lock
over
it in?
55.
Over?
Yep. Over, officially. Over Virginia. Over 55. I'm going to come back to that because I think I like that first half if I can get it within
Yeah.
if I can get it within a touchdown, under a touchdown, if I can give me a 6, 5.5, I think I might take it. So, do I write you down for the
Virginia -10.
-10?
Absolutely. Full game. I learned with Ohio State. I'm taking the full game.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't blame you there.
Yeah. I thought
I
that
don't
was a
blame you
slam
there.
dunk, man. I watched
You and me both.
Minnesota come
Stroud didn't
out.
play that good of a game. He actually has
Yeah.
me worried about them
Yeah.
during the season, honestly, I'm a bit concerned. All right. Next game we got on the docket is, let me see here. Oh, there we go right there. Got the Pitt Panthers They're going on the road to take on the Tennessee Volunteers. That line opened up at the Volunteers plus 3.5. Total opened up at 56. Couple actual factuals for Pitt. They're 4-1 ATS in their last 5 games. 4-1 straight up in their last 5 games. 6-0 straight up in the last 6 games played in September. 16-4 straight up in the last 20 games played in week 2. But 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games played on a Saturday when playing on the road. Total's gone over in 8 of the last 8 games played on the Saturday, over in 4 of the last 5 games played on the road, and over in 8 of the last 9 games played in general. Volunteers, they're 2-7 ATS in their last 9 games, 2-7 straight up in their last 9 games, 4-10 and 1 ATS in their last 15 games played in September, 16-4 straight up in the last 20 games played in week 2, but 1-7 straight up in the last 8 games played on the Saturday, and 1-4 ATS in the last 5 games been playing as an underdog. The total has gone over in 5 of the last 5 games played against an ACC opponent, and under in 5 of the last 5 games played at home, and under in 7 of the last 8 games played in general. Pitt at Tennessee plus 3.5. Total's at 56. What do you got?
This was a really tough one for me. It's supposed to be a close game. They're going in to Tennessee, which has a pretty rocking stadium. SEC football, ACC matchup. I'm trying to think. Who's the quarterback for Pitt? He's
Pitt.
Pickett. Yep, Kenny Pickett. He's looked kind of good at times, and then other times, just don't really know. For this one, I like Pitt to win. Not for the 3.5. I could see this one coming down to a field goal. If I'm going with like my gut, I'm saying Pitt win money line. It's probably like something semi decent, maybe minus 200, minus 1 something.
Let's see. What can we get Pitt money line? Currently, it's at minus 175.
Yeah, I take that. Minus 175 Pitt on the road against Tennessee. The over under 56. I just don't know. Don't know what kind of game.
Total's actually gone up a point to 57.
Oh, it's up 57. So they. I feel confident. Pitt money line. I'm gonna save my commentary for some of the other games that we have coming up. This was the one that I felt the least confident on, but
okay,
Pitt
all right.
to win. Yeah.
They both played Powder Puffs week 1.
Yeah.
I think Tennessee struggled early with Bowling Green. It was not too much of a Powder Puff actually. Pitt played Massachusetts, UMass. Pickett, 27 for 37, 272, 2 touchdowns. Milton for Tennessee, 11 for 23, 140 yards with 1 touchdown. A lot of dinking and ducking, what it looks like. Me from there. Small Tennessee's running back, he ran the ball great, or pretty good. 22 carries, 116 yards, 1 touchdown. Again, it was Bowling Green. So,
yeah. I think the quarterback did a little bit of rushing in that too.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
This is just the rushing leader.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go right there with you. I'm gonna take Pitt on the money line. I think this could be a tight game. I actually only think it's gonna be a tight game because they're at home and Rocky Top is jumping. I actually think Pitt's a way better team. I think they'll cover this. I'm gonna take the 3.5.
Take 3.5. So we're both
leaning
Pitt.
I'm not a believer in this Tennessee team. 3.5 is I think Pitt team is a way better team. They got a senior-led quarterback. Well, is Pitt a senior or is he a junior? He's a veteran quarterback, though.
He is a veteran. Yeah.
He's been starting for a while. His team should be able to go into Tennessee and take care of
Tennessee
business.
Stadium is what has me concerned, though.
Yeah.
They got a lot of bodies.
But that's why I feel like the veteran is going to come in handy. He's been there before. He's been in loud stadiums before.
Yeah.
He's been in big games before. He should be able to settle them down. I think Kroll, the leading receiver, I think he's an upperclassman. Yeah, he's a senior as well. Lucas Kroll,
Yeah.
the leader, the tight end, which is the leading receiver for him. He's a senior. This
Yeah.
is a senior-led team. I'm pretty sure. Let me check. Hammond, the running back. Okay, so Hammond's a freshman
Mhm.
who's the running back, the leading rusher. But Kenny Pitt and the leading receiver, Cole, they're seniors. I'm not too worried about the. I'm not as worried as I would be if it was a rookie going in there. But this Tennessee
Yeah.
team is just a team I don't trust. If this was a good ball club, then I'd be like, okay, yeah. Um,
But you think they can get the
at
3.5?
home,
They do
maybe
it.
they can be a home dog, but man, it's just hard for me to see. I mean, especially like what did they do last
Didn't.
year? I mean, what did they do?
They didn't.
Milk. I mean,
You don't really think
Milton's
about that, like an
QBR.
SEC. Yeah.
Milton's QBR was a 31.4
Yeah.
against Bowling Green. Don't get me wrong, Pitt's defense is like not, you know, I
They're
would
not that
assume they're going to
good.
be better than Bowling Green. So,
Yeah.
um,
You would
and at
think.
least they played UMass. It was 51-7.
Yeah.
What was the score of this Bowling Green game at halftime? Yeah, at halftime,
It
the
was pretty
score was
close.
14-6.
Yeah.
Now granted, third and fourth quarter, they took
They,
off. They did what they're
yeah.
supposed to do. I guess maybe it took a while to get going, but I like Pitt here, and I'm gonna take the -3.5.
So you like Pitt because you don't like Tennessee. Basically, is
Yeah,
what I'm hearing. Don't
yeah.
trust
I
Tennessee.
like
Taking
Kenny
Pitt.
Pickett though. I
Yeah.
like Kenny Pickett. I think he can go in there. Yeah, I like Pitt because I
Yeah.
don't like Tennessee. You're right.
Sounds good
I'll
to
take
me.
that. I'll take that. I think they can win by a touchdown. I think they can win by a touchdown. I don't see why they would. I just don't see. There's nothing to fear here. Nothing to fear there. Let's go to this game. This is the next game I want to do. Here, Rutgers. They're going on the road to take on Syracuse. Syracuse Orangemen. Line opened up at Syracuse +2. Total opened up at 52. Couple extra factors for Rutgers. They're 4-2 ATS in their last 6 games. 5-15 straight up in the last 20. 6-2 ATS in their last 8 games against Syracuse. 6-2 straight up in their last 8 games against Syracuse. 5-0 ATS in their last 5 games on the road. 1-7 straight up in the last 8 games played in September, and 0-8 in the ATS in the last 8 games played in week 2. Totals gone under in 7 of their last 7 games playing against opponents from the ACC. Under in 4 of the last 5 games when playing on the road against Syracuse. The Orangemen, they're 4-1 ATS in their last 5 games. 1-8 straight up in their last 9 games. 0-5 straight up in their last 5 games at home. 1-6 straight up in the last 7 games against an opponent in the Big Ten Conference. 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games played in week 2. And 5-1 ATS in their last 6 games and played on a Saturday. Totals gone under in 4 of their last 5 games played in September. 4 of the last 5 games been played at home against Rutgers. Under in 4 of the last 6 games played against 5 of the last 6 games played against Rutgers, and under in 4 of the last 6 games, generally speaking. Rutgers against Syracuse +2. What do you got?
I would love to hear your take first on this one. This is one that I am thinking about currently.
I
I want to
got
know
you.
what
I got you.
Marley.
What you talking about, United Dave? I know Marty too well that he ain't budging with his feet. No, I'm not. They're locked in, buddy. They're
Yeah.
locked in. Not
So what
budging at
what does
all.
Marley think is the play here?
All right. So on this game here, I'm not. Let me start off by saying this. I am not a fan of Syracuse football. It's just not a good
Mhm.
football team to me. Um, I have absolutely zero faith in this football team. So, I mean, that clearly probably lets everybody know which way I'm going here on this game. I like Rutgers here. Um, do I like the -2 or do I like the money line? And here I like the -2. Um, Normally I have a rule in football, which is if it's like 3, I wouldn't mind taking it 3.5, as I just did with Pittsburgh. I normally
Yeah.
would just money line it about a half point because most games end in a field goal.
Yeah.
But I just think Tennessee sucks. Here, since it's -2, I don't think this will be a fairly close game because I think if Syracuse scores a fairly decent amount of points, 24. Rutgers, I mean, scores 24 or so points. I don't think Syracuse can keep up. I don't buy anything about this team. I don't buy the coach. I don't buy the team. I think they'll be one of the worst teams in the Big Ten. Or are they still in the Big Ten? Syracuse in the Big Ten?
No, I think they're. Are they? I think it might be an ACC.
ACC, whatever they are, wherever they are,
they're at the bottom of it, so it doesn't really.
Yeah, they're terrible. And so yeah, so I like Rutgers here. The quarterback Verdell, he's decent. He's like a manager. He went 15 for 27, 138 yards, 1 touchdown. He also leads the team at rushing. He's a dual threat, so he's 9 carries, 58 yards. And Milton is the receiver. He's 6 receptions, 59 yards in the CD. I just like I said, I don't like
Syracuse.
So.
Fair. I do not know enough about this game. Do not know enough about this game. You seem pretty sure in your disdain for Syracuse. So I'm siding with you. If you think it's a good play at -2 for Rutgers, I'm putting it on my ticket.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of my better bets for today. I just don't think they're good. Syracuse. This is going to have trouble. I mean, all the numbers are here. I mean, look. Let me see. Syracuse. 0-5 straight up in their last 5 games at home. 1-6 straight up in their last 7 games against an opponent from the Big Ten. 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games. And then Rutgers, I think they're 5-0 against Syracuse. Oh, excuse me. 6-2 ATS their last 8 games against Syracuse. 6-2 straight up in their last 8 games against Syracuse. And I just really don't like this Syracuse.
I hear that. Well, terrible. Lock it in at Rutgers. -2 for the both of us.
I personally think they're terrible, honestly. So, hey, sue me. Sue me. This is a game you mentioned a little bit earlier. Hold on, let me get to it. Nope, that's the later game. Oh, I think I passed it. What time is it? Sorry, yeah, I did. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, yes, I did. Where are you? 1 second. There it is. Oh, wait. Where are you? There they go. There they go. The Wolverines. Washington Huskies. Going on the road, take on the Wolverines at -6. Michigan. That total opened up at 49. It's going to be a weird game, I think.
Yeah.
Washington. They're 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games. 5-2 straight up in their last 7 games. 17-3 straight up in their last 20 games played in September. 5-1 straight up in their last 6 games played in week 6. Washington's 1-4 ATS their last 5 games played on a Saturday. The total is going under and 4 of Washington's last 6 games against an opponent in the Big Ten, under in 11 of Washington's last 15 games on the road, and under in 7 of Washington's last 9 games. Michigan, 1-5 ATS in their last 6 games, 3-6 straight up in their last 9 games, 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games at home, 1-11 ATS in their last 12 games against an opponent in the Pac-12, 18-2 straight up in their last 20 games and played in September, 5-0 straight up in their last 5 games played in week 2, and the total has gone over in 13 of their last 20 games played on a Saturday. Washington and Michigan -6. What do you got?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, that game that Washington played against Montana last week basically solidified my thinking for this week when I saw it was on here. I love Michigan to cover at -6. We talked a little bit about the toughness of the Pac-12. I think the Big Ten and Pac-12 are two completely different sports. It's not even the same sport being played between the two. I got on my Washington State sweatshirt, which is the rivals to Washington. I will pretty much never go on the air preaching for Washington to win. I can't do it. I would take an over and under for points, but I think it's pretty much a done deal. Michigan wins this by more than 6. That's all I'm going to say.
More than 6. So there's no way that Washington has a chance in your mind.
Not at Michigan. They couldn't even win at home against an FCS team. At home.
You don't think maybe they were just overlooking them and prepared for Michigan, maybe?
I think it's a new, I mean, not a new coach, but new quarterback. They lost the talent that they had there. I just don't see anyone stepping up against this Michigan team and like getting it done. I think Michigan might get into a thing of overlooking Washington for this, but I think they should be good. If you don't think the 6, I think a field goal at half, it should be. Michigan -6. I'm stuck on that one. There's no way.
I really want to take Michigan, but I don't know if I can feel comfortable.
What about Washington? What about Washington has their quarterback threw 3 interceptions, threw for like 80 yards.
Come on. Game. I was trying to see if it was an early game, because if it was an early game, I was definitely going to take Michigan.
It was a late game.
They got a West Coast team flying all the way across the country, but it's a late game.
It's a late game against Montana, the state next door, basically.
Stay away. Weird game equals stay away. What's a weird game equal? United ahead. I don't know what a weird game equal is. I don't know what that is. Oh man.
Money line.
There's just something about this Michigan team I don't trust.
At home.
Even though Washington did lose to Montana. I don't trust.
Go ahead, make the case. I want to be a believer.
I can't make
why
the case.
Washington could stay within 6.
I can't make the case. No, I can't. I can't make a case. Well, I can say maybe Washington was preparing for Michigan.
Okay.
Fucking Morris threw 3 interceptions. Jeez, though. I mean, there's no way. He's a freshman, though.
Freshman quarterback?
Yeah. So I like Michigan -6 here.
Good call. Good call. You're going to tell me last thing. Freshman on the road.
Freshman is not going to go on the road at the big house and win in a primetime game. No way. You mentioned that was a weird game, so I'm staying away. Oh, okay. Just because I didn't know, I didn't know Washington was I didn't know Morris was a freshman quarterback. is a Pac-12 team, but I really know nothing about Pac-12 that much in the United States because I hate this conference. Except for
How do you really
Oregon.
feel?
Except for Oregon, I'm not even going to say UCLA. Maybe UCLA now and USC.
USC.
That's probably about the only two teams in that conference I pay attention to. Maybe Arizona State. Will see how Herm Edwards does, but that's just my admiration for Herm Edwards as a coach, and I want to see what he does.
Yeah.
Outside of that, United States, no, I'm an SEC country. SEC, Big 12, Big 10.
Yeah.
That's probably about it. It's always football I respect. As of right now. Subject to change. But yeah, I'll ride with you, man. I like Michigan.
Good.
I like Michigan -6. There's no way. Shit, actually, I like Michigan first half -3 and Michigan full game -6.
Yeah.
Freshman
I just don't
quarterback,
see how they could do it. I don't see how they could do it.
I don't see how he goes on the road and actually pull that out, even though somebody got hurt from Michigan that they needed. And
I'm trying to think
is it
who.
Bell? I think it was Bell.
Mm-hmm.
Ronnie Bell. Was it Ronnie Bell? Somebody
I think
got
I
hurt.
remember hearing something.
I'm trying to look at it now. Really fast. If it's who I think it is. Yep. Loses Bell, top receiver for the rest of the season.
Yep.
That's going to be crucial. But again, I don't see. I just don't see it. It's hard for me to see it.
Yeah.
Freshman quarterback going on the road, primetime game under the lights, big house. Tough, man. Tough. And you just lost to Montana State, so you're probably hearing a lot of crap about how bad you are. Then you're going to go into Michigan. Even though Michigan hasn't been Michigan, but
No.
it's going to be a tough place to play. They'll be coming off a win, second game of the season. It's going to be a real tough game. So, yeah, I'm right there with you. I like Michigan.
Nice.
I like Michigan. I like the Wolverines. I'm going to agree with you. First half and full game, actually. I don't see that freshman quarterback doing that. Like you said, you can't beat Montana at home. How the hell are you going to beat Michigan in Michigan?
Yeah, ranked team in Michigan. Yeah, and I'm not saying Michigan is like the best team, not even the best team in the Big Ten, but I think Washington.
Not.
Yeah, Washington's gonna. Yeah, there's gonna be some growing pains. I mean, as there usually is when you have a freshman taking over.
I agree. All right, man. Next game we got on the docket is Utah Utes in your country now. You're part of the world. Going on the road to take on BYU Cougars. The line went up to Cougars +7. Let's get into some actual factuals here. Utah, they're 11-5 ATS in their last 16 games. 4-1 straight up in their last 5 games. 6-2 ATS their last 8 games against BYU. 9-0 straight up in their last 9 games against BYU. 6-1 ATS in their last 7 games on the road. 5-0 ATS their last 5 games and playing on the road against BYU. 8-0 straight up in their last 8 games against an opponent from the Independence Conference. 16-3 straight up in their last 19 games played in September, and the total is gone under in 4 of their last 5 games played in week 2. Over in 4 of the last 5 games, generally speaking. BYU 12-1 straight up in their last 13 games. 9-0 straight up in their last 9 games at home, but 0-5 when playing at home against Utah. 5-2 ATS in their last 7 games in week 2. 7-1 straight up in their last 8 games played on the Saturday. The total is gone under in 9 of their last 12 games played in September. Under in 10 of the last 12 games played against the Pac-12 conference opponents. And under in 4 of the last 6 games played against Utah. Utah at BYU +7. Totals at 48. What do you got?
For this one, I listened to those BYU stats and all their against the spread and stuff, and I just think Zach Wilson. So
Yep,
they got a lot of success
definitely
coming
Zach Wilson.
at the most position. He was that guy for BYU. I think it's a different year. Uh, yeah, so I'm rocking with Utah on this one. 7 because they're clearly rivals. I mean, Brigham Young is in Utah, Provo, and then you got Utah and Salt Lake City. So they know each other pretty well. They play each other pretty often. Utah's beat them last 5 times. I think they make it 6. So I would take Utah. I'm just thinking about like a touchdown because BYU is really going to try and prove a point here early in the season. They're underdogs. They're playing against that in-state kind of rival. Maybe I just don't know like who Utah's got. That I'm
Well, I'll
like, oh
tell
yeah,
you,
for sure
Utah's leading passer, obviously the quarterback Brewer. He went 19 to 27, 233 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception in their first outing. The leading rusher is Thomas, 12 carries, 407 yards with 2 touchdowns. And receiver is Kincaid, 4 receptions, 75 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And in that week 1, they played against Weber. They won 40 to 17. Excuse me.
I think for a while that game was kind of close, though. It was kind of close. Who did BYU happen to take on first week?
Arizona. They won 24 to 16 at Arizona. Excuse me. At BYU.
Yeah, 24-16 BYU. BYU might play it tough. I think the fact that they played Arizona, they won. I think they were underdogs in that. No, I think actually BYU was favored, but they didn't cover. I think Utah.
That game was in Las Vegas, actually.
It was in. Oh yeah, so it was like a
Allegiant Stadium.
But BYU was favored though?
BYU was favored 13.5.
Yeah, and they didn't cover. They won by 8. Yeah, I like Utah. Maybe not to cover the 7. I think BYU is going to play them tough, but I think they win. So Utah, I take full game money line. I know I don't really like taking it when I know it's going to be like it's probably minus 350, something like that.
Let's see. I can give
I'm around.
That. It is BYU. Minus 273.
270. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. Hate taking anything over minus 2. Minus 220, minus 250, if I can help it. But I'm just not like 100% on. I don't think BYU will win, but I also don't know if Utah's going to beat them by over 7. So even though I hate doing it, I'm going to take Utah for the win, money line, full game, final answer.
Hey, go ahead, my brother. Nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah. I mean, money's money, right? At least you hit it.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that. Tell you what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to take BYU plus the 7. One method is to teaser halfway. It's the teaser halfway. So in this game, teaser to Utah for minus 3.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
And I do like that.
90 days.
Yeah.
I'm taking BYU here. I'm taking the points. I think it's way too much to be taken. Got little brother. I think little brother. I don't know if they're necessarily little brother, but their record over the last few years indicate that they are a little brother. But I think this game, little brother is gonna get some revenge. I think they definitely have a chance to win. I would sprinkle a little bit on the money line. But the play I want to recommend is plus 7. I think it's just way too many points. Especially going into BYU.
Exactly.
I do understand that there's no Zach Wilson, but you still do have the running back who ran the ball great last year.
Absolutely.
Behind that offensive line, Algier, I think that's how you pronounce it. He went 17 from 94, one touchdown last week, and Powell, the receiver, is still there. 8 catches, 126 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Now, obviously, the quarterback, Hall, is the new kid on the block. 18 for 28, 198 yards, 2 touchdowns. The good thing about BYU is they're always going to have veteran players or older players. They got to go on their 2-year sabbatical. So they're always going to be a disciplined team, very disciplined team, very well coached. And for the most part, I think they're a team of overachievers. Guys that a lot of probably the top teams didn't want or didn't choose to give scholarships to. And I think that helps them play with a chip on their shoulder. I think they can win this game outright, honestly. I definitely will sprinkle a little bit on the money line, but +7, way too many points. I don't think they beat them by 7. Like you said, this is a rivalry game. They're in each other's backyard.
Yeah.
So I'll take BYU +7. I'm actually loving BYU +7. I think it's a great line. Way too many points. Somebody's overvaluing Utah. But Utah's been pretty good lately. At least their defense has been freaking stellar. So I don't know.
We'll
if it's
see.
too
It'll
much
be a
of
good
an
game.
overvalue, but I think it should be. I think this will be a good game too. I think this is actually the game of the week instead of the last game we're gonna do. You got Iowa going on the road to take on their in-state rival, Iowa State, who is, I think, is another good team this year. Their lines opened up at Iowa State -4.5. The total is at 45.5. And let me get to the actual factuals here in a second. Find it. There we go. Okay. This is going to be a fascinating game, I think.
Yeah.
Iowa 6-1 ATS in their last 7 games. 7-0 straight up in their last 7 games. 5-0 straight up in their last 5 games against Iowa State. 5-1 straight up in their last 6 games. 4-0-1 ATS in their last 5 games played in week 2. The total has gone under in 12 of Iowa's last 16 games played in September. Under in 5 of the last 6 games played against the Big 12 conference opponent. And under in 12 of the last 18 games, generally speaking. Iowa State, they're 4-2 ATS in their last 6 games. 7-1 straight up in their last 8 games. 6-0 straight up in their last 6 games at home. But 1-5 straight up in their last 6 games when playing at home against Iowa. They're 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games played in September. 4-1 ATS in their last 5 games when playing as the favorite. The total has gone under in 4 of the last 5 Iowa State games played in week 2. Under in 5 of the last 6 games played in the Big 10 conference. Under in 5 of the last Iowa State's last 6 games against Iowa. And under in 5 of Iowa State last 6 games generally speaking. Iowa at Iowa State. What do you got?
This is going to be my upset of the week. I think Iowa comes into Ames, gets the win. I think they're defensively, they're pretty sound. They got their quarterback returning from last year. I think they just came off a win against an Indiana team that was supposed to be pretty good. Yeah. I like them. It's kind of a mix between Iowa State's supposed to be a really talented team as well. I mean, they're top 10. They obviously had some great games last year. I think they ended up beating Oklahoma. But I don't trust Iowa State. That's one of my Big 12 teams. I just when they play, I just hate taking them in spreads. I mean, unless it's just like a slam dunk, lesser conference opponent. But I think Big 10 versus Big 12 this week, I think Big 10, I was going to get it done and pull the upset in Ames and their rivals. So that's the one upset I'm calling this week. I feel pretty good.
Well, I already called my upset
Yeah.
of the week, BYU. So
Yep.
I'm off the hook.
I'm off
for
the
the
upset
upset.
train. Can't
I'm
can't
off
get
the
two
upset
back to
train.
back.
Yeah, right. Can't do that at all. However, I can do what the hell I want. My show.
Yeah.
And I'm taking Iowa. Taking Iowa. I'm taking plus the 4.5. So I'm a little not as confident as um. Well, maybe I'm about as confident as I am. I do believe they can go in there and get a win outright. But Purdy for Ohio State scares me. He's a veteran quarterback. He's tough. I like this team. They're a tough team
Yeah.
generally speaking. But I like them in the underdog role, not in the favorite by 4.5 role.
Yeah.
I like them underdogs against Oklahoma and Oklahoma State
Yeah.
and the Texas. They play up very well against those teams. And I picked Indiana to beat Iowa last week. Definitely to pick it a close game, and they went out there
Yeah.
and dominated. I don't know how much of that is Penix coming off the knee injury and not
Mm-hmm.
being completely healthy, or that's just how dominant Iowa team. And I think they may have the wrong team favored here.
Yeah.
But I get Iowa State at home, but I mean this is Iowa versus Iowa, so I think this will travel quite well if this is even. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not as a neutral site.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
let's
could be a
see where
neutral
the
because it's
game
9
is
versus 10.
located. What's that? Ames.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. But I love Iowa here plus the 4.5. It's definitely something that I may consider sprinkling on the money line, but I'm definitely taking the 4.5. This team is disciplined. Petrus at quarterback, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. Goodson running the ball, 19 carries for 99 yards, a touchdown, and the defense just fucking played phenomenal against Indiana. I don't know if Iowa State's going to be able to hold on to that, but you got revenge factor from last year. But I'm all over the 4.5 here. I think it's too many points. I think this line will go down as we get
Yeah.
closer to the weekend. So once it gets to 3.5, 4, once it gets to 4, if you probably haven't jumped on it, I hate getting the worst of the lines. I would probably
Yeah.
try to catch this one a little early, people. Honestly, this is definitely going to change.
100% gonna change.
100% for sure. This line is going to go. This line is going to move. I want to check it now. I won't be surprised if it hasn't already moved. To be honest. Quick check, real quick. Still at 4.5. That's
Okay.
what I got it at right now.
Jump on it.
Surprised,
Jump on it if you can.
super surprised that it's still there. Hell yeah, I would jump all over that if you can. Damn, Brick Top. United Day was funny, man. Damn, Brick Top Alex, you sure with this underdog? Yes, I'm riding with him. I would definitely take a look at it for sure. For sure, definitely gotta take a look at that. I think that's definitely gonna be.
So they're gonna have a
If you're
chance.
looking
I
for
think
some
they're gonna have a
underdogs, I
chance to win.
definitely think that. Yes, I think they got more than a chance. Honestly, I
Yeah.
think they got the wrong team favored. But I get it probably because they're at home. So, but I mean, it's Iowa against Iowa, so
No. So it's like what? How? Yeah.
I don't know how much at home that helps. But
Yeah.
home they say home field is worth like 3.5 points. So
Yeah.
technically, they're saying Iowa State's only 1.5 points. Oh wait, no, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They're saying Iowa State's
A point,
about a point and a
point
half.
better on a neutral field.
Yeah.
Yeah, a point and a half on a neutral field. And I don't know if that's quite accurate. That's my problem. I'm not sure that's quite accurate. All right. Well, one more game before we get out of here, man. It's almost midnight for me. I gotta take my kids to school in the morning. But last game, we got Oregon Ducks going on the road to take on your Ohio State Buckeyes. Line is at 14.5, just a half point it was last week. Total's at 63. Couple extra factors for Oregon. No 1-5 straight up in their last 6 games. Excuse me, 1-5 ATS in their last 6 games. 16-4 straight up in their last 20. 5-0 straight up in their last 5 games played in September. 18-1 straight up in their 2. 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games played on a Saturday. The total has gone under in 14 of the last 20 games on the road, under in 4 of the last 6 games played against the Big Ten Conference. The Ohio State Buckeyes, 18-2 straight up in their last 20 games, 10-0 straight up in their last 10 games at home, 8-0 straight up in their last 8 games against an opponent from the Pac-12 Conference, 4-0-1 ATS in their last 5 games played in September. Total's gone over in 4 of their last 5 games and played as a favorite, and over in 6 of their last 7 games in general, but under in 5 of the last 5 games played in week 2. Oregon at Ohio State minus 14.5. What do you got for me, sir?
I think on this one, I'm siding with Ohio State, but 14.5 is. I am. I'm riding Ohio State. I think last week was a bad. I mean, you got to give it up to Ibrahim. He's, hope for a speedy recovery. He went off on them like was projected, but Ohio State still managed to push. They got the double-digit win at the end. I think C.J. Stroud, their quarterback, is going to come out this next week. He's at home. You got the home court advantage. Oregon is they just lost their potential number 1 overall D end is out. So I think I like Ohio State. Maybe a teaser if you can get like a 4 point and get it down to like 10.5. But I like full game Ohio State at home against an Oregon team, without their best defensive player. I think they'll come out. They'll kind of want to show people that last week that they are still the Ohio State that comes in and out and is usually that 3 to 4 seed going into the BCS championship. So Ohio State minus 10.5. I'm not going to say it as confidently as I did last week, but I do think they get it done this week against an Oregon team, traveling to the Horseshoe.
That's the one thing. I wish this game was at a neutral field. Oregon traveling to the Horseshoe. There's a little bit. And Fresno State played a really good game against them. But I think Fresno State's actually pretty good too.
Yeah.
I think they're a little tough team. I'm going to take the over here at 63. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think Ohio State may give you the 40 that they gave you last time. I think they'll give up the 20 that they gave up last time. I think it'll be really close. I want to take the 14.5 because I'm not impressed. I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed with Ohio State. Wasn't impressed with Stroud, C.J. Stroud. I think Oregon's offense is better than Minnesota's offense, but I don't know if their defense is better. Actually, I'm going to take the 14.5. I'm going to take Oregon.
Even though you're not impressed, you're that lackluster in Oregon's defense.
Yeah, because I wasn't impressed with Ohio State. I wasn't impressed with their offense. I wasn't impressed with C.J. Stroud. I mean, Minnesota could have won that game. They were in it.
They had to do it early, though.
I think Oregon has better athletes than Minnesota does offensively. And maybe defensively. I think maybe they have better athletes, but I think maybe they're not as tough as Minnesota. But I think their offense is better. So I think they'll score more.
So the over or the spread at 14.5? I think both could be viable.
I'm just gonna stick with my original gut feeling, which really let me see. I don't like that 24 that they let Fresno State score on them. Ohio State might score 50. I'm just gonna take the over 63. That was my original gut. That was my original play. I'm just gonna stick with over 63.
I like it. I'm gonna
I'm
do
gonna stick with
Ohio
that.
State teaser. Teaser. If you can get a little 4-point off that and bring it down to 10.5, I think they win by touchdown and more than a field goal. So maybe not 2 touchdowns, but yeah, I think
All right,
a lot
I'll
of
put that
points will be
down.
scored. I think a lot of points will be scored, but at the end of the day, I don't think that Oregon with their new quarterback having to go into Big Ten and keep it competitive. I don't think they're doing it. I think the defense, there's going to be some exposure on that, and we'll just see.
We shall see, sir. Yes, sir. Well, man, I appreciate you joining us, man. That's it. That's all I got for today. It's getting late. When you get about the social?
Yeah, sure. So as always, if you sports betting's not all I do. I am a pretty good plug out in Vegas for partying, anywhere if you're out on the strip or if you're just looking for something to do, got you covered. My social is going to be flat, just spelled like on the name, _top_VIP. And I will make sure you and your people get taken care of. Yeah.
I told you text me that next time so I can make a banner for it.
Oh, you're right. I'm texting it to you tonight.
So I can
Banner for the next
going.
show.
It'll be just like that. If you just
Yeah.
go ahead and text it to me.
Yeah,
So,
I got you.
I don't know how much it'll help, but hey, any promotion is good promotion, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah, man, y'all check out my boy. Follow him on social media. Y'all in Vegas, hit him up. Send me a message if you got me. I'll send them y'all way. I am Marley Betts. Y'all follow me, Marley_Betts, Instagram and Twitter. Check out United Dave. I heard you. The NFL show is tomorrow. Me and LJ go bust down and open the NFL lines and games for starting Thursday and on Sunday. So check that out tomorrow night. Other than that, man, that is it. As always, like last weekend, like tonight, I hit a couple baseball plays too, by the way. Y'all know what the motto is. Let's beat Vegas.
Vegas. Let's beat them.
You know what? I'm out this motherfucker.
Check it out. Look, we from the bottom, ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look.